Hello friends, and now I am going to discuss about banker's obligation to maintain the secrecy of a customer's account. Secrecy of a customer's account. Here, it means that a banker's obligation to maintain the secrecy of his customer account is just nothing but the banker should not disclose to any outsider the details relating to the customer's account, like amounts deposited, checks, drafts, and bills deposited for collection, the parties from whom the checks, drafts, and bills are received, the checks issued, the parties to whom the checks are issued, the balance in the account, the OD, loan, or any other advance granted, the securities deposited for the customer, as the securities deposited by the customer against the loans, etc. Now we understood that a banker should not disclose the state of his customer's account to any outsider. It is just nothing but banker's obligation to maintain the secrecy. Here we are observing banker's responsibility to maintain the secrecy of his customer's account. He should not reveal or he should not disclose any of the information belonging to his customer's account to third party here. Why this, or what is the idea behind banker's obligation to maintain the secrecy? Because the relationship between banker and the customer is purely confidential or private in character. Hence, the banker should maintain the secrecy of his customer's account. Next, nature of banker's obligation to maintain the secrecy. Here we are seeing there is a contractual nature, or the obligation arises here because of contractual relationship, and the obligation is not only implied, it is one of the implied obligation. It is not only implied but also legally imposed. Here we are seeing on the basis of law also, the banker has to maintain the secrecy of his customer's account. Here we are seeing that the banker can disclose, or disclosure is permitted in some cases. That is called as exceptions to the banker's obligation to maintain the secrecy. Here, under some circumstances or under some occasions, the banker can disclose his customer's state of affairs to a third party. They are, first one, when there is an express consent of the customer. Second one, when there is an implied consent of the customer. Third one, when he is compelled by the laws of the country. Fourth, when he is under a public duty to disclose. Fifth one, when his own interest requires disclosure. Last one, when an inquiry is received by a fellow banker. Likely, here we are seeing six exceptions to the banker's obligation to maintain the secrecy of a customer's account. First one is we shall discuss in detail when there is express consent of the customer. Express consent, the banker is justified in disclosing the state of affairs of the customer's account in case his disclosure is on the basis of express consent of the customer. How and when the express consent coming up here? It means the customer instructs his banker in writing, or gives some or to give some or all the details of his account to an authorized person. The authorized persons may be his lawyer or auditor or manager or secretary. This is called as express consent. So here, when he gives in writing the instructions given in writing to the banker to give some or all the details about his state of affairs or about his account to that third party, then the banker is justified in disclosing the information about the customer to the outsider, because there is express consent. And now we are moving towards another matter, implied consent. When there is an implied consent of the customer, here the banker is justified in disclosing the state of his customer's account to an outsider even when there is implied consent of the customer. Not only on the basis of express consent, but also because of implied consent, the banker can disclose, or the banker is justified in disclosing the customer's state of account to third party. So implied consent means here what it happens if the customer has given the name of his banker to a third party for the purpose of trade reference here, then in such case as a referee, the banker can answer all the trade inquiries made by the third party about the customer. Here it appears as a implied conditions or implied consent of the customer. Next, when he is compelled by the laws of the country. So under when the banker is forced by laws of the country to disclose the state of affairs of his customer's account, he is bound to do so. For instance, here we are looking at under the Bankers Books Evidence Act of 1891, a banker can disclose the state of a customer's account to a court when he is called upon by the court to do so. And likely under section 285 of Income Tax Act of 1961 says that every banker is required to furnish to the income tax authorities the names, the addresses and the amounts of interest paid to depositors who give more, who get more than rupees 10,000 rupees as interest during any accounting year. So if any of the customer draws more than rupees 10,000, the banker is bound to disclose his name to the income tax authorities. Likely under section 133 of the same act, here a banker is required to give information about the account of a customer to an income tax officer when he calls for the information in his official capacity. And now we shall see under the Exchange Control Act of 1947, a banker can give information relating to a customer's account to the exchange control authorities when they call for such information. Under Customs Act, the banker is justified in disclosing the customer's account information to the customs authorities. Likely under CPC, Criminal Procedure Code, a banker can disclose the state of affairs of customer to the police officials for the purpose of investigation. Under the Companies Act of 1956, a banker can give information relating to the company's account to the inspectors appointed by the central government to investigate the affairs of the company. Likely we are seeing under Banking Regulation Act of 1949, every banking company is required to submit a Reserve Bank of India, submit to the Reserve Bank of India annually a return of all those accounts in India. Act under the Banking Regulation Act of 1949, every banking company is required to submit submit to the RBI annually a return of all those accounts in India which have not been operated for 10 years. Here, on the basis of different laws, the banker is forced to disclose the state of affairs of his customer, and he is justified in this case also. Now we are looking at another matter when he is under a public duty to disclose. Suppose what it happens if the banker comes to know from the customer's bank account that his customer is engaged in trading with enemy country during the period of war. In that situation, he can disclose the state of the customer's account to the government in the interest of the state. Another matter when his own interest requires disclosure. When his own interest means, you look at it, what it happens. When a banker takes a legal action against the customer for the realization of the amount due, he is permitted to disclose the exact state of his customer's account to his lawyer or advocate. Lastly, we are looking at when an inquiry is received from the fellow banker. As a common courtesy here, one bank is going to get the information about the customer from another banker. And here one bank has to follow this and he has to give information about his customer if the same is asked by the neighboring or fellow banker. Take here, bankers have the practice of exchanging information among themselves about customers because of common courtesy. So, when an inquiry is received by a banker from a fellow banker about the state of customer's account, the banker can answer that inquiry as a matter of common courtesy. Now here for this for the exercise of banker's obligation to maintain the secrecy, the banker has to take some precautionary measure in answering an inquiry. The banker should not be negligent in giving information. Second one, the information should be given confidentially. The information should be given honestly. In answering any inquiry about a customer, the banker should depend only on facts as disclosed by customer's account and not the rumors. Next, the information should be given in the most general manner. The actual details of the customer's account should not be disclosed. He should make any statement which may make the customer liable for defamation or fraudulent representation. To be on the safer side, it is advisable for the banker to specify in his reply that he does not undertake any responsibility for the information provided by him. Lastly, wherever possible, he should get express consent of the customer before giving his information. Here ends the banker's obligation to maintain the secrecy of customer's account. Thank you for listening. Thank you all.